Okay, if I am tagging you in this video, it's because either you are a person who makes woodwind instruments or you're a person who knows people who makes woodwind instruments. I have an idea for a woodwind instrument that doesn't exist. People have tried to make it before and have failed, and I will explain that later. But it is one that I am very surprised doesn't exist. I think there's an obvious market for it, and I don't want credit or like involvement or anything. I'm just putting it out there like, hey, if this thing existed, I would buy it, and I don't think I'm the only person who would. And what it would be a penny whistle that uses Highland Bagpipe Fingering. And I mean unmodified Highland Bagpipe Fingering. You could take any idiot who knows how to play a Highland Bagpipe or Scottish small pipe of any sort, just hand them this instrument. They can put it in their mouth and just play all of their pipe repertoire without having to learn anything new in the fingers. Who do I imagine would buy such a thing? Literally anybody who already knows how to play a bagpipe. Right? Because bagpipes are loud, they have odd tuning. Notoriously, you can't play them indoors. They are notoriously, famously difficult to play along with other instruments, right? In a band setting, like guitar players or whatever. Everybody who plays bagpipes is looking for an alternative to their bagpipe, right? But the only alternative that exists is to get a set of small pipes, which are like at least $1,000. There's nothing like in between. There's no compromise. I don't know. If you're familiar with piping culture, if you hang out with bagpipers, I just feel like this is like so obvious that this instrument needs to exist. In fact, it's so obvious that this instrument should exist that people have tried to make this instrument exist before, and this is one of the failed attempts. Generation actually makes these, and they're called the Elf Song Enchantress. And it's got the right number of holes. It's got the extra hole for the pinky. It's got the back thumb hole, but it runs into quite a few problems. Number one is the intonation on it is pretty bad. It's a chintzy kind of garbage instrument. Number two, it cracks like really easy. It's so easy to overblow it and make it choke and make all sorts of weird garbage sounds. But even if you fixed all of that, it's pitched in D, right? Not into actual A, like this note is supposed to be a D or close enough to a D. So even if you worked out all the tone, intonation and tone problems, it's still pitched a fourth too high to be an actual like bagpipe tuning. I've seen one other company that tried to mass produce a Highland Bagpipe Fingering style tin whistle, and that was Carbony. And I actually owned one for about 3 days, and then I sent it back and asked for my money back, and they did give me my money back. But the problem with it was it all worked basically sort of how it was supposed to, except for the back high A. The back high A was a whole half step too sharp. And I tried putting blue tack in it, I tried taping it down, I tried to rush, all that sort of stuff in the few days that I had it. Nothing was going to work. It was it was an A sharp. It was not an A. And I don't think that was a one-off. I have found a couple of YouTube videos of people playing these, testing them, doing demos on them, and all of them had the same problem. That back high A was a half step too sharp.
And it comes with a fingering chart. Now I see on the fingering chart, it does show that the high A is supposed to be half covered rather than the traditional full cover. It's kind of asking you to kind of half cover that hole rather than fully cover it. We'll see if I can throw that in real time or not. A high A again, just a little bit not stable.
So I just kind of stopped looking for a Highland Bagpipe penny whistle hybrid, just because I figured, okay, there just must be something about the physics. Like if Carbony and Generation can't figure this out, then it just must be something that is not possible to be figured out. And then enter Nicholas Brass. Nicholas Brass figured this out. He cracked the code, but I don't think he realized that he did. So if you don't know him, Nicholas Brass is this French fella. He's been on YouTube for like 10 years now. He makes these videos where he creates these really cool, really creative, bizarre DIY instruments out of just like junk and basic building materials. He makes these cool videos of himself playing them. And over the summer, he announced this new Kickstarter project he was doing where he invented what he's calling the modular drone flute. It's basically a kit of connectors, tubes, and mouthpieces. And they can be assembled in like any sort of combination you want so that you can create your own little kind of drone flute instrument however many drones you want, whatever different pitch you want for a drone. Do you want one chanter or two chanters? But what's wild is he almost made a bagpipe fingering.
Okay, let's learn the name of the notes. The scale is A, C, D, E, G. And there is an extra note played with the thumb, the high A.
The chanters on his modular drone flute system play an A minor pentatonic scale, meaning if you took one of his modular flutes and was able to add a low G under the right hand pinky, change the C natural into a C sharp, which you could do just by narrowing the diameter of the tone hole, and add an F sharp, then you got it. You got exactly what I'm talking about. You got a bagpipe fingering system on a penny whistle. Apparently this thing could exist because Nicholas Brass almost accidentally created it. So what it would be, to summarize, right, is, okay, so this is an alto A penny whistle, right? What I'm talking about when I say a penny whistle that a Highland bagpiper could just pick up and play their pipe tunes exactly. It would have to be something that I could hold like this, right, about this size. I hold it like this. There would have to be an extra tone hole added here, and this foot might need to be extended like an inch or so, because I want to be able to close that and get a low G. But it would be low G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G natural. This is a G sharp as is, right? But a G natural, and then a high A, another hole added back here to get a high A. Now there's one other thing that you would have to do to make this thing absolutely perfect, which is the top hand would need to be just a tinge sharp, like 20 cents too sharp, because bagpipers learn to close the bottom hand once they pop to the top hand. So if you really wanted to have something that you could just hand to a piper and they could just play it, you'd have to have the E, the F sharp, and the G natural be like 20, 25, maybe even 30 cents too sharp, so that when the piper instinctively closes their bottom hand, this thing gets whacked back into tune. So my E is here, but if my bottom hand is closed, it's... So you'd have to have them just be a tinge too sharp at the top hand, because when the piper closes their bottom hand, it's going to flatten the notes a little bit. But I don't know. Does that make sense? I mean, like, it feels to me like it's crazy that this thing doesn't already exist. It feels like such an obvious thing, because, like, there's a lot of people who play both instruments. So why isn't there the instrument that's halfway in between? You know what I mean? And all pipers are looking for an alternative to their bagpipe. The penny, it's just so natural. I don't know. But so if anyone makes one, if you invent one, I will be your first customer. I promise. All right. But yeah, does any of this make sense? Ask me questions if this doesn't make any sense.